It is Tuesday, July 7th, 2026. I will call the city council meeting to order. Clerk Everett, would you please call roll?
Councilmember Huckabee.
Here.
Councilmember Johnson.
Here.
Councilmember Lesko.
Here.
Councilmember Price. Here. President Jekyll.
Here. Thank you. Item 3, Pledge of Allegiance. I invite everybody to please stand. To the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Item 4, consent agenda. The consent agenda outlined below is hereby presented for action by the city council. Items may be removed from the consent agenda on the request of any one council member. Items not removed but may be adopted by one action without debate, and removed items may be taken up either immediately after the consent agenda or placed later on the agenda at the discretion of the council president. Note though, there was in the staff report for item 4D was updated on the city's website this morning. That is the only amendment we have so far.
I move to approve the consent agenda as listed items 4A through 4G.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 5, public hearings. Tonight we have none. Item 6, public comment for matters on the agenda. The city council will receive comments from city residents. Comments are limited to 3 minutes per individual. Anyone wishing to speak is required to sign up in advance or state the following items for the record when called upon: name, address, and contact information. Note for those on Zoom, if you wish to speak, please raise your virtual hand as the chat box is not monitored, and those on the call must remain muted unless recognized to speak. We had one individual in person signed up tonight, Mr. John House.
John House, 104 Jefferson Street. I missed the open public meeting for the TIF 9. And I started reading through this, and I'm still confused as heck. Didn't we pay some engineering firm to come to our first open meeting? And didn't one of his first comments was, this never should have been done? I guess why are we continuing to pursue that mess out there? That's been a big mistake ever since it was started. I personally know that land very well. I've lived in that area for over 50 years. It's just a crap hole. So, and I know there's people that I've talked to out there and they are confused as to what's going on. They haven't been contacted and spoken to. So there's no solutions on that. Another thing, I guess I would agree if everybody that votes for this or follows through with it signs a document that when things go wrong, they're the ones that get sued, not me as a city citizen. I think that'd be great. We have mistakes out here that have been done. The sidewalks and the pavers they put in 10, 15 years ago or whatever it's been, they're junk. They're the worst things ever. So now we have to pay for it to get tore up. So I guess that's all I have on that aspect. So thank you.
Thank you. All right. This will be a first call for anyone on Zoom wishing to speak. Second call for anyone on Zoom wishing to provide public comment. We'll close out public comment. Item 7, petitions, requests, and communications. 7A, review and possible action relating to a proclamation recognizing July as Parks and Recreation Month in the city of Fort Atkinson. Manager Houseman.
Thank you. Since 1985, people in the United States have celebrated Park and Recreation Month in July to promote building strong, vibrant, and resilient communities through the power of parks and recreation, and to recognize the more than 160,000 full-time park and recreation professionals, along with hundreds of thousands of part-time and seasonal workers and volunteers who maintain the country's local, state, and community parks. The city's Parks and Rec Department is focusing in 2026 on the power of connection, the power of play, and the power of community. And the success of the programming in the city of Fort Atkinson is thanks to the dedicated full-time staff of the Parks and Recreation Department, including Ben Dayton, Brett Ketterman, Chris Nye, Heather Fox, JJ Yankee, Rick Aller, Josh Crandall, Jim Watucky, and Matthew Thompson, along with countless part-time and seasonal employees. The proclamation on the agenda tonight is not expected to have a financial impact on the city, and staff does recommend that the City Council approve the proclamation to recognize the month of July as Parks and Recreation Month to raise awareness about the great programming available in the city of Fort Atkinson and an appreciation of the Parks and Recreation staff. I'm happy to answer any questions.
I move to approve the proclamation recognizing July as Parks and Recreation Month in the city of Fort Atkinson.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Invite Ben to come take a picture. Great. Item 8, resolutions and ordinances. 8A is review and possible action on a resolution adopting a project plan territory additional amendment number 1 and boundaries for tax increment district number 9, the city of Fort Atkinson, Jefferson County, Wisconsin. Manager Hausman.
Thank you. I will note that we have Jennifer Engel on the Zoom here. She's one of our financial advisors with Baird, and we also have Justin Fisher with us in the audience today, who is one of another financial advisor. So I will just do the presentation that I've done in the last couple meetings, including the Joint Review Board meeting in June and the Plan Commission meeting, and then we can, if there's questions for Justin and Jennifer from the council, you're more than welcome to ask them. And we will go from there. So I will share the screen here. Okay, so just a quick overview for those of you who may or may not recall how TIF works. Let's see if I'm not sure if everybody can see my mouse here, but you have the base value of when the TID district is created here, and all of the taxes based on the property value in that tax increment district continue to go to the 4 overlying taxing jurisdictions. So after the TID is created with the value over that base value, which is the value increment, as that increases, those dollars go to the TID. It's collected through property taxes and distributed to pay for debt expenditures, et cetera, the projects that are outlined in the project plan. At the end of the TID's life, when it's terminated, then all of that value goes back to the overlying taxing jurisdictions. This is from the DOR's TID manual, which I believe is also in the packet for review as well. So first, we'll talk about TID 9 a little bit. This is amendment to TID 9. So TID 9 was created in 2022. The packet for the Plan Commission meeting, which had the public hearing as well as this meeting, is on the city's website, and that project plan has been on the city's website and in my office for review. We did Class 1 notice in the newspaper on the 9th of June. We also provided notice to the taxing jurisdictions. The Joint Review Board met on the 22nd of June, and the Plan Commission held a public hearing on the 23rd of June. So now we are at the 7/7 City Council meeting, and if the City Council chooses to amend this TID number 9, it would go back to the Joint Review Board meeting on the 27th of July. So again, TID number 9 was created in 2022 as a mixed-use TID. You can see the green outline is the current boundary. The final year for expenditures is 2037, with closure expected in 2043. The territory amendment is outlined in yellow on the screen here on the south side of the TID. So the goal is provide a financing source for public infrastructure improvements in the amended area. And just because this, if it's the TID is amended to include this territory, does not mean that there has to be public infrastructure projects. It just simply provides a financing source if there are public infrastructure projects in the future. So again, from the project plan, there are the location, the listing of the additions to the project plan are listed here. They're just more thoroughly described in the project plan. And then there's a location map showing where those would be located. So the cash flow pro forma, which is on page 31 of the project plan, anticipates about $45 million in construction increment over the life of the TID. And that's the entire TID, not this territory amendment. And $2.5 million in new debt service for public infrastructure, with all of those expenditures to be recovered by 2041. This is a map that shows the half-mile radius from the TID, including the amendment. So their public infrastructure improvements are permitted to be made within the 1/2 mile radius within the city for the TID, including the new territory amendment, if that is approved. Okay, so that's what I have for TID 9. You do have a memo in the staff report that more thoroughly describes the TID as well as the goals. In addition, there are the DOR TIF manual, all of the notices required. Those are all also in the packet for review. So I would be happy to answer questions. We also, as I mentioned, have our financial advisors from Baird online and in the room if the council has questions for them.
Well, just note, back earlier this year, we did have a meeting in regards to this area that we are adding. And I do recall pointing out that, no matter what we do here, there's going to be parties that are not happy or may think that we should be doing something different. This is, it's a hard spot to, no matter what you want to do here. There's no right answer. I think this is, like Rebecca made the comment, that this is a very good spot to at least start to give us avenues to look down in the future.
And any public infrastructure project would come back to this council for review and approval. So there wouldn't be, if the council does approve this amendment and approve this amended project plan, does not automatically mean that any of these projects will occur without additional approval. It just puts the plan in place. We file this with the DOR, and it allows us a roadmap for potential future improvements.
And if I'm understanding correctly, adding this new territory gives us access to additional funding in order to make those infrastructure improvements, whatever they might be down the road.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
And I assume it makes some more lots available for building at some level.
That
In
would be a future decision by the city council.
And then they would decide whether they could be slab homes or conventional with basement.
Well, we do have information from the studies that the city commissioned for the water issues in that area. Though that study was pretty clear on the fact that there shouldn't be basements. If there is additional development in the area, that it would be slab on grade.
The existing roadways and stuff still need some more investment from the city, correct?
Correct. That is one of the reasons that we are proposing to amend the TID to have a financing source for possible improvements to the roadways.
The staff memo also points out the amendment would be to provide financing mechanism for reconstruction or deconstruction. Is there anything on the deconstruction side that that we have in mind right now?
Well, as I said, nothing's planned out. There would be a lot of planning and review by engineers and whatnot. But one of the things, another item in that study that was commissioned by the city showed that southern loop of Isla, I believe that I shouldn't say not Isla, the southern loop, the name of it is escaping me right now, but this southern loop, Ramesh, is not viable to continue. So if, whatever the council decides in the future to do as far as infrastructure improvements could include some removal of infrastructure.
Which could be seen as an improvement from what it is right now. I mean,
Yes.
I move to approve the resolution adopting the project plan territory additional amendment number 1 and boundaries for tax incremental district number 9, City of Fort Atkinson, Jefferson County, Wisconsin.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 8B, review and possible action relating to the resolution adopting the project plan and boundaries for tax increment district number 11, City of Fort Atkinson, Jefferson County, Wisconsin. Manager Hostman.
Thank you. Again, you have a memo in your packet, as well as the TID number 11 creation resolution, the project plan, and the proposed pro formas, as well as the review and resolution approving or recommending approval of the creation of TID 11 from the Plan Commission. Also, the notices that are required, including the notice to the other taxing jurisdictions and the notice of the public hearing, which followed a similar time frame as as the amendment to TID number 9. So again, we're at the city council meeting on the 7th. If the city council does approve the creation of TID 11 tonight, the joint review board would meet again on the 27th of July. For final approval. The Joint Review Board was supportive, I should say, of the TID number 9 amendment. They were also supportive of the creation of TID 11. And I also should have mentioned in the last section that the Plan Commission did recommend the City Council approve the amendment to TID number 9. So I apologize, I didn't mention that. TID number 11, again, is located on the south side of the city and includes the undeveloped and underdeveloped land within the Clement Business Park, which is that former TID 6 land. So TID 6 was terminated in the spring of this year. And there is still vacant land there that can benefit from financial support through a new mixed-use TID. The mixed use will allow for additional, beyond just the industrial TID, which is what number 6 was created. Mixed use will allow mixed uses, right? And the Plan Commission has seen in concept a development on the west side there of Janesville Avenue. And then we included land north to be able to make some of the public improvements that were recommended through the Janesville Avenue corridor plan. So that is included in the project plan as well. So if created in 2026, expenditures in TID 11 could occur until 2041 with anticipated closure in 2046. And I mentioned that multifamily project west of Janesville Avenue and in this parcel. This is the existing uses and conditions map. So it shows, this is also in the project plan, shows what the land uses currently are. This map shows the projects, the proposed projects that again are more thoroughly described within the project plan, and then the 1/2 mile map. So this includes 1/2 mile from the border of the TID within the city limits, which is why it's just mainly on the north side of that, because the land within 1/2 mile on the south side there is not within the city limits. So you can see the project names and descriptions in the project plan. The cash flow pro forma is also in the packet. It anticipates about $90 million of construction increment over the life of the TID, with expenditures recovered in 2047. Again, the 1/2 mile radius map. And next steps, again, we are here at the City Council review, possible final adoption of 9 amendment and 11 at the end of the month at the Joint Review Board meeting. That meeting will also include the annual reports for TIDs 6, 7, 9, and 10. 6 and 7 have been closed in 2026, but we still have the reports from 2025. And I apologize that this has not been updated, but tonight the action requested is adoption of the resolution for the creation of TID 11. I am happy to answer questions from the City Council. We also, again, have our financial advisors present in the room and via Zoom if any of council members have questions for them.
Yeah, I have a question of our financial advisors. The expected increment, $90 million, right? And then when you compare that with the timeline for the expenditures to be recovered by 2047, is that a typical timeline for a project like this or a proposal like this?
It is pretty common, especially when you're starting out with a brand new tax increment district where, you know, you've got some potentially infrastructure to do. You have to spur the development to come, which takes time. I mean, as Rebecca kind of showed you in those beginning slides, when you create a tax increment district, it usually doesn't just shoot off right away. It takes some time, the first several years, to kind of get off the ground, get that, you know, because once one development comes in, other developers are paying attention to that. And then they kind of almost piggyback off of that. And you see that ramp up period to where then the most, you know, the best parcels are essentially taken, and then kind of the remaining ones are potentially developed or not. But that takes a lot of time to do. And as in the pro forma, you know, what we're taking a look at is all the different potential expenditures that may take place within this district. And then also kind of factoring in how much revenue do we need to generate, how much tax new development value do we need to generate in order to pay that off? Because ultimately, you're not going to be doing these expenditures if you don't have some other type of revenue to be able to help offset it. Because at the end of the day, you want to try to maximize this district as much as possible by getting as much of these projects, these necessary improvements done as possible with the monies that you have from the tax increment district. Because once that's done and closed, then it's back on the city completely to be able to fund any of those type of projects.
Thanks.
Yeah.
This is one of our more exciting ones, being this has been a very black eye to the city in a sense over the years. You know, we have the big industrial flex building going up there, so we have that. We have the other project that the Plan Commission saw, and there's a few other ones that seem to be in the woodwork. So I think this is a very well supported one.
Yeah, hopefully we've shortened or flattened that ramp up period.
I think we're going to hit the ground running with this one.
I move to approve the resolution adopting the project plan and boundaries for tax incremental district number 11, City of Fort Atkinson, Jefferson County, Wisconsin.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you to our two financial advisors. Item 9, reports of officers, boards, and committees. 9A is the city manager's report. Manager Hausman.
Thank you. The city is currently hiring. We have several positions open right now. Our water utility superintendent, that position has actually closed, and we're starting to engage with interviews over the next couple weeks. We have our aquatic specialist position open where we're looking to hire that position. That's due to an internal promotion. And we have Heather Fox here tonight. And unfortunately, Heather has chosen to move on from the city. Definitely a promotion, though. We're very excited and proud of her and excited for her to move on to her next role with the city of Jefferson. But we will be also hiring a recreation coordinator and administrative assistant in the Parks and Recreation office. We also are hiring for a public works operations crew person. So please check out the city's website for more information and how to apply. In other good employee news, Jay Reith passed his paramedic exam and he has now been promoted to firefighter paramedic. Again, I think this underscores our commitment to our employees here, that we're willing to invest in our employees and promote from within when we have the capabilities to do so. So congratulations to Jay Reith. The city held our annual employee picnic on June 30th. While it was exceptionally hot, we did have a great turnout. Thank you to Councilmember Price, who brought extra cookies for all of us, and Councilmember Lesko, who spent his lunch hour with city staff. So thank you. And also congratulations to Terrence Beach and Randy Rebko, who won the annual bags tournament. So it's become a bit of a tradition where we have an annual bags tournament at our picnic. And Terrence and Randy won. And also congratulations to Nick Reith and Nicole Saxey, who won the participation bracket, is what we call that. It was a double elimination tournament. So on June 30th, we celebrated the groundbreaking for the industrial spec buildings that Wisconsin Development Partners will build on the corner of Janesville Avenue and Commerce Parkway this summer. Jeff Hoy and his team organized a fantastic event featuring speakers from throughout the county. We look forward to the additional momentum in the Clement Business Park. Roughly 800 people attended the 50th annual ice cream social on July 4th at the Horde Historical Museum. 55 volunteers worked a total of 99 hours and served about 39 gallons of ice cream in 2 hours. So also of note, 76 visitors climbed the historic 1901 water tower and more than 120 people toured the 1841 Foster House. So it was a very nice event. The city's contracted assessor Associated Appraisal has mailed the notices of changes to assessments to property owners in the city. This is part of the city's efforts to maintain compliance with state statutes relating to the ratio of assessed value to market value. So the letters mailed to property owners whose values changed include the assessor's contact information and the dates and times for open book and board of review. So remember that when assessed values increase, the mill rate decreases and tax bills generally remain the same. This week, the city is sending out our notices of the upcoming public hearings for the proposed tax increment districts 12 and 13. These proposed districts will focus on blight elimination. However, I will note that not every property is blighted. They are two proposed districts in the city's downtown, north and south of the river. About 200 letters were mailed to property owners this week with the date and time of the public hearing, which will be Tuesday, July 28th, 2026 at 4 p.m. during the regular Plan Commission meeting. That blight elimination designation does not mean, as I said, that each parcel is blighted and needs to be redeveloped, but it does allow for a longer life of the TID, 27 years instead of 20. And the goals of creating these two TIDs in the city's downtown is to support redevelopment and provide a funding mechanism for public improvements, including the Janesville Avenue Corridor Plan, which was approved by the council and the Plan Commission a couple of years ago. In June, the Aquatic Center saw 8,863 visitors over the 21 days that it was open, with an average daily attendance of 422. The busiest day was June 29th, with almost 1,000 swimmers between the day and the evening sessions, and my family and I were a couple of those swimmers. Also, 18 Aquatic Center staff members completed the swim lesson certification program, which is well above the typical 3 to 5 that we see in previous years. So a lot of interest from folks on becoming swim lesson instructors, and a lot of interest in people for having their children learn how to swim, which is great. June was also a very busy month for our parks and ball fields. We had 213 games and practices scheduled on just the ball fields. In addition to that, user groups hosted tournaments on 10 separate days in June. And the Berry Park Band Shelter was repainted this year. Be sure to check it out next week as there is a community band concert on Monday night and a charity concert on Wednesday night in Berry Park. The city's summer photo contest continues. Residents are encouraged to submit contest entries through August 10th, and winners will be announced on August 17th. More information on that can also be found on the city's website. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Item 10, unfinished business. Tonight we have none. Item 11, new business. 11A is review and possible action on South Main Street construction project change order. Director of Public Works, Navin.
Good evening. On September 16th of 2025, City Council awarded the bid for the South Main Pedestrian Path Project to Rock Road Construction Company. And on December 2nd of 2025, the City Council awarded the contract for construction administration to MSA. Through this project, unfortunately, the current infrastructure was identified for stormwater was not buried at least 12 inches deep as is typical. And instead, the consultants found the storm sewer was only a few inches beneath the soil in this area. And this is from Talcott north to Rockwell Avenue. Because of this Rock Road, the contractor did not feel comfortable installing the asphalt path over the top of the existing storm sewer where they have to drive heavy equipment over and risk crushing that current storm sewer infrastructure. MSA and city staff agreed that now is the time to correct the issue and move this section of storm sewer into the curb line. This has resulted in the need for an additional 771 feet of storm sewer infrastructure and additional manholes to be installed at a cost of $424,424.79. It is important to note that MSA did write off approximately $15,000 in design fees to acknowledge their involvement in the initial design oversight. This change order also cleans up original contract to remove all the town of Koshkonong related items and right size base bid quantities that were originally arbitrarily split between the city and the town, such as tree removal and restoration work, as well as addressing changes the city made when the town of Koshkonong removed themselves from the project. When the town removed themselves, the design changes required to properly end the path at city limits and provide a curb ramp to allow users and maintenance equipment to enter next to the path of the city limits. So between the removal of the town portions of the project, right sizing of the base bid and the stormwater improvements, this change order adds a net cost of $22,238.21. And this project has exceeded the original cost estimate submitted through the DOT grant process, and all additional costs must be covered by the city. The additional stormwater costs will be paid out of the stormwater utility fund, and the modifications to the base bid qualities will be covered by Fund 5. And then you can see laid out are the change order pieces there, A, B, and C. So staff recommends the approval of the South Main Street Pedestrian Path Project change order number 1 for a cost of $22,238.21 to be funded through the Stormwater Utility and Fund 5 Transportation Fund as appropriate. I'll take any questions.
That current storm sewer infrastructure that was not put in deep enough, do you have any idea how old that project or when that dates back to?
I don't. Yeah, I'm not. I don't have any information on that one off the top of my head.
You had to make a guess. More than
At least 50, if not more than
Okay.
75 years.
thanks.
Are we kind of at a point in this project where there shouldn't be much more blind curveballs thrown our way, or?
I would sure hope so. I'll always hesitate to give a firm answer on that until the asphalt's going back down. There's still plenty of digging to do, and as you know, with digging, there's always new surprises.
But water and sewer, I believe, is all.
Water main is 98% complete. There's a couple portions that are waiting to complete. Right now, We Energies is on site doing their high pressure gas main part of the project, which is great that We Energies jumped on board with us as part of this project. It's just delayed. It just extended the life of this project much further than originally anticipated. But so then our rock road will get back on site, wrap up water main, and then they'll be able to complete the storm sewer, complete work through the entire project, as well as a little bit of sanitary repair work that's needed.
Okay.
Did you have a ballpark idea when it might be completed? Everything might be done?
Um,
October, right?
Hope-
End of October.
early November.
Fall.
Correct.
It's, We
Yes,
Energies.
and we've made
the-
it very clear to We Energies, the deadlines that we have to, get in place to ensure that we get everything completed before asphalt plants start to close and things of that nature. And at this time, everyone is confident that they can meet those deadlines. We do have a follow-up, a check-in meeting with We Energies next week to see how their portion of the project is going to ensure that they are staying on track.
I move to authorize the South Main Street construction project change order number 1 in an amount not to exceed $22,283.
Second,
$22,238.
Thank you. My gosh, it's a day.
You're good with that second yet? Amending that motion, Bruce?
second,
All right. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Just want to make sure we had the right numbers on the record.
It's been a day where I've talked too much, so now I just can't talk at all, apparently.
All right, 11B, review and possible action relating to the relocation of the water main on Riverside Drive. We have Director Naven again.
Thank you. Yeah, Mr. Armstrong had something come up, so just happy to take this one over for him. So the water utility currently has a small section of existing water main in the intersection of Riverside Drive and Wilson Avenue that was installed 102 years ago. The section of water main passes through a sewer manhole, which was identified in 2016 DNR deficiency report. The deficiency is associated with Wisconsin code that prohibits water pipe from passing through or coming in contact with any part of a sewer manhole. This deficiency was initially noted back in 2019. Had a compliance date of August of 2019, and it was identified again in the July inspection of 2019. At the time, the utility was given permission to address the deficiency with the reconstruction of Highway 106, which at the time was slated for construction in 2025. During the water utility's regular scheduled inspection in June of 25, the issue was discussed again, and now that the Highway 106 project has been delayed until 2032, the DNR has set a compliance deadline of November 30th, 2026 with no further extensions to ensure the utility is in compliance with Wisconsin Administrative Code requirements. To complete the project in a timely manner, utility staff requested the city's interim engineer, Rupert Milkey, to design the relocation and submit the design to the DNR for approval. The design was approved in May, and staff solicited proposals for 3 contractors with whom the utility has successfully worked on previous projects. Staff saw proposals from 3 contractors, including Forest Construction, Madrell Excavation, and R.R. Walton. Forest Construction and Madrell Excavation submitted proposals, while R.R. Walton declined to bid due to current workload. Costs associated with this project will be paid for out of the Water Utility Fund 3. And as you can see, the 2 bids and the decline are noted in there. Staff recommends awarding the contract to Forest Construction in the amount of $17,800 as the lowest responsive and responsible bidder to complete the water main relocation project at the intersection of Riverside Drive and Wilson Avenue. And it's important to note that this work will not take place until September of this year based on Forest's current workload. So there will be no concerns regarding extra traffic out that way with the pool. And we will be able to keep 106 open for the project. We'll just be able to move cars around. Wilson Ave will, of course, be closed on the southern portion, but we'll be able to keep traffic through on 106.
And it'll still get completed by the deadline.
Correct.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's a day, maybe 2 project.
Oh, good.
Very, very short.
Okay.
This proposed project too would be compliant with the future planning for 106, where we won't wreck it or destroy it.
We'll have to redo all of this associated with the project when 106 is done. So
It will-
unfortunately, this is a little bit of a double work.
We'll be redoing it when we do the road.
Correct.
So is the work doing it now more than the fines the DNR would give us?
Yes, it is.
I assume, looking at the bid from Forest, the city will be doing the blacktop in-house, or will they be?
I don't have that in front of me to look at, but that's
Just
mostly.
seeing in their project description, it says by others, final saw cutting and pavement restoration and permit.
Yeah, it's another small little piece there, so we'll
Okay.
handle that.
I don't know why I had it in my head that Highway 106 was scheduled for 2030. And now it's been moved to 2032.
That is correct.
The joys of working with state government.
I move to award the contract for relocation of the water main on Riverside Drive to Forest construction in an amount not to exceed 17,800.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 11C, review and possible action related to the reestablishing access to the trail from the wastewater plant to the wastewater plant outfall at the Rock River. Wastewater Superintendent Sweeney.
Good evening. The city's wastewater treatment plant was constructed in 1971 and included a 36-inch outfall pipe discharging into the Rock River. This is where the water treated by the plant is reintroduced to the Rock River. A trail was also built, allowing easy access to inspect the pipe's manholes as well as the outfall structure at the river. Over the past 50 years, the trail has significantly degraded. To restore safe access, staff has solicited bids for a contractor to remove dead trees, stumps, and brush surrounding the outfall pipe. Following site cleanup, a 8-foot wide gravel access path will be installed, extending from the wastewater treatment plant fence to the Rock River outfall structure. This will allow personnel to safely inspect the outfall piping and reach the discharge structure, ensuring compliance with the Wisconsin DNR inspection requirements. The 2026 capital improvements project budget was $50,000 planned for reestablishing this trail. Staff has requested 3 proposals and we did receive 2 back. They are as follows. Nature's Call Land Clearing proposed $12,000 and Midwest Land Solutions proposed $16,980. Jerry Hepp Excavating did not return a proposal. Staff recommends that the City Council approve the proposal from Nature's Call Land Clearing at a cost not to exceed $12,000 using funds from the wastewater utility budgeted CIP.
I move to approve the proposal from Nature's Call Land Clearing at a cost not to exceed $12,000 to reestablish access to the trail from the wastewater plant to the wastewater plant outfall at Rock River to be paid for using wastewater utility CIP funds.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 11D, review and possible action relating to the replacement of the harvestor pump and backup thickener centrifuge feed pump. Superintendent Sweeney.
In 2024, the city borrowed $1.5 million for a solar energy project to offset increases in electricity usage. On August 19 of 2025, the City Council authorized a solar study to be completed by Donahue and Associates to better understand the feasibility of solar at this site and the associated costs. On June 9th of 2026, Donahue and Associates presented their findings to show that the payback periods on solar at the wastewater plant made the project cost prohibitive, and it was not recommended to move forward with the solar project. City staff discussed with the city's financial advisor, Baird, how to handle the funds borrowed in 2024. Baird's recommendation was to spend the funds on wastewater associated projects and continue to pay the debt service from the wastewater utility funds. Wastewater staff were then tasked with identifying the best uses for the $1.5 million borrowed in 2024. At the June 9th, 2026 council meeting, Donahue and Associates also presented a biosolid study as a next step in potential plant upgrades needed to comply with DNR requirements. This presentation reaffirmed that the city is operated in an efficient manner and operational processes do not need to change. However, equipment needs to be updated. So equipment identified for updates is equipment already in the wastewater treatment plant's 5-year CIP program already. The $1.5 million will allow staff to work ahead in the CIP. The items recommended for purchase are in line with the 2026 Donahue and Associates Biosolids Report recommendations. So the existing 1992 Wemco harvester pump is located in the solids handling building. It is used to transfer solids from the digesters to the harvester. This pump plays an essential role in facility operations, allowing a digester to be taken offline for maintenance and cleaning, and then providing additional storage capacity in the winter months when we may not be running as well. Also housed in the solids handling building is a 1992 Moino pump. It's a backup thickener centrifuge feed pump. This unit serves as a backup system for both the centrifuge and the thickener, ensuring continued operation when either piece maybe is down for equipment or maintenance repair. The replacement of both pumps are currently in the 5-year CIP. So in 2020, after a thorough investigation of the available pump types and brands, firm quotes were received, and Borger rotary lobe pumps were the pump brand and type chosen to replace our solids handling building pumps. They are the utility's sole source vendor for these pumps. So staff requested a quote from Borger for the backup feed pump and the harvester pump, and they received the following prices. The feed pump was $28,543.65, and then the harvester pump was $38,402.05. Pump installation is not included in the price of the pumps, so staff requested quotes from Ahern, Sabel Mechanical, and then Staub Construction. Staub Construction came in at $58,700. Sabel Mechanical came in at $31,865.06, and then Ahern came in at $51,000. So staff recommends the purchase of the pumps from Borger at a cost of $66,945.70, and then the pump installation from Sabel Mechanical for the cost of $31,865.06, with a total project cost not to exceed $98,810.76, using funds identified in the wastewater utility CIP.
So I just have a question on when I see a big difference in the quotes, was there something that wasn't on Sable's? I was looking through and I didn't notice anything.
I feel sometimes with installers, sometimes it's how busy they are. So maybe they put it a little higher because maybe they can't take the work. And then sometimes they'll come in really close. It's hit or miss.
Okay.
And these were the ones that were identified as needing the soonest in that bucket that was presented before, that they needed the soonest
Correct.
replacement.
I move to approve the replacement of the harvester pump and backup thickener centrifuge feed pump at a cost not to exceed $98,810.76 for the total project to be paid for using wastewater utility CIP funds.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. 11E, review and possible action relating to the replacement of 5 activated sludge pumps and 2 digested sludge pumps.
In 2024, the city borrowed the $1.5 million for the solar energy project to offset increases in electricity usage, which ultimately did not provide an acceptable return on investment, as described in my previous report. Also reported at the June 2nd, 2026 City Council meeting, Donahue and Associates presented a biosolids study as a next step in potential plant upgrades needed to comply with DNR requirements. The $1.5 million will allow staff to work ahead in the CIP. The following items are in line with the 2026 Donahue and Associates Biosolids Report. The secondary treatment building currently houses 5 Fairbanks Morse activated sludge pumps installed in 1991, consisting of 3 return activated sludge pumps and 2 waste activated sludge pumps. Staff proposes to replace the existing RAS pumps with 3 20 horsepower flight submersible pumps and the WAS pumps with 2 7.5 horsepower flight submersible pumps. In addition, staff recommends direct replacement of 2 10 horsepower flight digested sludge pumps that were originally installed in 1992. To support the upgraded RAS pumping system, staff also proposes replacing two remaining 2006 Cutler Hammer variable frequency drives, as one of the drives was replaced in 2024. The two remaining drives will be replaced in kind with 20 horsepower ABB VFDs. The RAS pumps continually return a portion of the plant's influent flow from the secondary clarifiers back to the aeration basins to maintain proper mixed liquor concentrations and biological treatment efficiency. In contrast, the WAS pumps, they remove sludge from the clarifiers, and then we convey it to the belt thickener where it is concentrated before it goes to the digesters. So Xylem Water Solutions is the only manufacturer of flight submersible pumps. The utility has only used flight submersible pumps, and staff continues to be satisfied with their performance. The cost proposals are for 320 horsepower return activated sludge flight 3153 submersible pumps, $83,945.10. Two 7.5 horsepower waste activated sludge pumps, 3127 submersible pumps, $27,519.20. And then two 10 horsepower digested sludge flight 3127 submersible pumps at $26,072.20. And then an additional $8,232 for the freight costs. And that brings the total for $145,768.50. Pump installation proposals were then requested from Ahern, Sabel, and Staub. And the cost of the proposals are Staub came in at $92,400. Sabel came in at $84,065.09. And then Ahern came in at $130,800. Staff also obtained a proposal from Altronics to replace the two remaining variable frequency drives with two 20 horsepower ABBs. The VFDs are required to operate the pumps in an efficient manner, ultimately ensuring the pump runs only as fast as it needs to in order to meet demand rather than always operating at full speed. Altronics is our sole supplier of controls and telemetry systems for the utility, and their proposal for the drives and installation was a cost of $25,386. So staff recommends that the City Council approve the purchase of the 7 flight submersible pumps from Xylem Water Solutions USA Incorporated in the amount of $145,768.50. Staff also recommends that the City Council approve the installation of the 7 pumps be completed by Sabel Mechanical at $82,572.74. And then in addition, staff recommends the City Council approve a proposal from Altronics for the replacement of variable frequency drives at a cost of $25,386. Staff recommends the City Council approve the total project cost from the vendors described above at a cost not to exceed $253,727.24 to be paid for using wastewater utility CIP funds.
What's the usual lifespan for these pumps?
They would say 20, but we like to make it 30.
Yeah.
Or more.
Mhm. And what happens when one of them fails?
We try and fix it.
Shovels, you get out the shovels.
A lot of the time, the lucky thing that we do have at the plant is a little bit of redundancy so that if something does go down, we have a spare on hand.
Okay.
So, but now they're just all old.
Yeah.
So
Thank you. I move to approve replacement of 5 activate sludge pumps and 2 digested sludge pumps at a total project cost not to exceed $253,727.24 to be paid for using wastewater utility CIP funds.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 11F, review and possible action relating to the purchase of security access door system installed by Ignitec with the 2026 municipal building CIP funds at a cost not to exceed $10,570.34. Parks and Rec Director Dayton.
Good evening. So the need for door security was identified in 2 previously conducted assessments on the municipal building. The 2022 assessment identified or highlighted deficiencies in the ability for us to limit public access to certain areas of the building that really are just for authorized staff, and also included the recommendation to add monitored electronic access control systems to the exterior doors, which would allow staff to use or utilize key fobs. The Additionally, in 2018, the police department conducted a safety review of the building and then also identified the the need to prevent unauthorized entry into restricted areas of the building. So the project scope really is to secure several primary access points, including the Main Street entrance, the Parks and Rec entrance, and then also door number 4, which is primarily used as a staff entrance. Along with these areas are a few internal office areas, the city manager's office area, the finance director and clerk office area, and then also the door that leads to the second floor of the rec offices, which is leading up to the dance studio and the U Center area. So the system is scalable. So if there is any need to add additional doors to the system or exterior doors, we'll be able to add those at a later date. And then also staff will be able to access using those key cards, fobs, which can be attached to your keys, and then also a employee specific code, because there will be a code system on the outside of the door. In addition to security, the system also improves operational efficiency, primarily for Park and Rec, where we are able to, or will be able to, program the doors for our weekend rentals, which will eliminate the need for us to hand out keys or distribute keys from the police department. So that is a huge advantage for us, and we'll eliminate that extra step for folks. Also, another advantage is that the system is also the same one that is installed at the fire department. So select staff members will be able to access both facilities utilizing that same key fob or key card. Financial analysis, the staff received 3 proposals from vendors. Ignitec provided a quote for $10,570.34. Engineered Security Solutions provided a quote for $13,479, plus that would have a reoccurring fee of $3,615 for cloud services for the system. And then another quote was received by Complex Security Solutions for $19,948.32. With all of these proposals, it was also included that the city electrician would be able to pull the data lines to each location with potential help from parks maintenance staff as needed. So that will help. That helped save some dollars as well. So Ignitec did provide the lowest proposal, and also an advantage to the system is that it does not include any reoccurring fees for being able to access it. So staff does recommend that the approval of Ignitec's proposal at the amount not to exceed $10,570.34, utilizing borrowed funds identified in the approved 2026 CIP budget. I can take any questions.
Ignitec is already our IT company, correct?
Yes, correct. Yeah.
So there's a little bit of economics by using them regardless.
Absolutely. And it would be integrated. Staff found it important to also shop around and see what other opportunities there might be or different systems.
So it looks like it's going to free up some time to being able to hand out codes for the rentals.
So we actually wouldn't hand out codes for the rentals. We would be
Okay.
able to program the door to
Mhm.
open and close, and
At
then
a
also
specific time.
correct, and then also be able to, if that rental cancels
Mhm.
or for whatever reason, we can remotely lock the doors.
That's beautiful.
Mhm.
That's going to be very nice.
I move to approve the proposal from Ignitec for the municipal building security door access project at a cost not to exceed $10,570.34 using borrowed funds identified in the approved 2026 CIP.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 11G, review and possible action relating to the repair of the fire department's truck 8177 aerial platform apparatus. Fire Chief Peterson.
Good evening. This request is for repairs to our truck 8177. It's a 2012 aerial platform, also known as a ladder truck. City staff has spent the majority of this year troubleshooting and repairing a number of items and ongoing mechanical and electrical issues. We were able to, along with the public works, able to repair as much as we can, but eventually had to take it to Reynolds to have the repairs finished, as well as our diagnostics and annual maintenance to our the ladder part of the vehicle. These repairs were a bunch of them that end up adding up. Replacement of brake control, repair of the DEF system, which you know about has been an issue with everybody. The ladder stow switch, communications with the aerial platform display, compartment latch doors, and then, as I said, the annual preventative maintenance. The truck's currently out of service at Reynolds. We have been working with our neighbors for additional mutual aid. In fact, we had to use a Jefferson ladder truck yesterday in the industrial park for an incident. As I mentioned in the past, we make every effort to make sure our prices are as good as they can be. And Reynolds has been a longstanding service center for us and the Pierce authorized repair facility. So we have a lot of trust in them, although we do, whenever possible, check prices with other agencies. But as I mentioned with, I think it was in May when we had the vehicle repair, that a lot of times we have to take it up there for them to take it apart, diagnose it, and then get that awful phone call with what the price is going to be. The original estimate was $21,248. Our staff worked with Reynolds to find as much areas to reduce those costs, and we're able to find several components that we can get different suppliers for. So the good news is we could brought that price down $4,500 to the final price of $16,784.41. The truck's there now. We look about another 2 to 3 weeks to have the repairs completed and to get back into service. This will be paid for out of our fire truck maintenance account. And also note with the other large expenses we've had this year, that account has almost been exhausted. We're doing everything we can to postpone and make it through the rest of the year, but I just want council to be aware that that account may be going over at some point. So staff recommends the approval of the repair estimate from Renner Fire Equipment in the amount of $16,784.41 for our truck 8177.
I move to approve the repair of fire department truck 8177 aerial platform apparatus from Reinert's Fire Equipment Service in amount not to exceed $16,784.41.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Only that it shows how important those mutual aid agreements are to cover.
Yes, it
Sounds
is.
like that.
And fortunately, they are available, and that's one of the reasons we need a vehicle like that, because if they're not available around another incident, we're, it's difficult to make up not having an aerial vehicle.
On this, what year is this truck?
2012.
Well, and I assume it's 20 years before we're planning to replace this unit?
Yeah,
or-
I think we've talked about that in the past. We look for a 20-year frontline service out of these vehicles, and the engines are actually more like 15. And then starting to replace them at that 25-year mark. We're extending that as much as possible. And this vehicle being about 15 years old now, we see these issues starting to pop up, and it's important that we stay on them now so we can prolong the purchase of all these vehicles for as long as possible and really try to get 30 years out of them at this point.
And being a ladder truck, I assume that's about 3 times the cost of an engine.
Yeah, well, almost double. So it's going to be in today's dollars, 2.4 million.
Thanks. Let's keep as much use out of it as we can.
Yes, we are.
Longevity. This little repair price tag is pennies.
Yes, it's a good investment.
All right, we have the
Truck
most.
probably cost half that I mean, even then, that's over $1 million back
Yes,
in 2012.
they become staggering prices for these vehicles now.
I think I remember the township at the time grumbling a little bit when the truck was bought years ago and
Right,
hearing the stories of the price they had to stomach to eat when they helped buy it.
right.
So,
But it's an invaluable piece of equipment for the city to own, and we certainly get our monies out of it.
we have the motion in a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 12, we have miscellaneous. We have none tonight. Item 13, public comment for matters not on the agenda. The council will receive comments from city residents. Comments are limited to 3 minutes per individual. Anyone wishing to speak is required to sign up or state the following for record when called upon: name, address, and subject matter. No action will be taken on any public comment. I believe we had Mr. House signed up for this one too. Yeah.
John House, 104 Jefferson Street. I just wanted to make an announcement that I am undertaking the salvage of the clock that's out in front here. There's been some discussion of it being put into storage, and that's about as far as what I've heard. So I have been contacting a lot of the old people in town and new people. I've been doing a lot of research. I've been getting lots of good help from our clerk and other people on the council as to how to do this. So at this point, I've got a meeting set up to talk to the whoever's in charge of the committee for the clock to see how to get that program going. Anybody know somebody that's got a DeLorean? Because I want to back it up to it and take a picture. And Kyle, you're going to be Marty McFly, okay? Anyways, so just to let everybody know, I've got funds already coming this way. And I'd like to get all the help I can get to get this going. Thank you.
Thank you. I believe that is all that we had signed up tonight, and I don't see anyone on Zoom. So item 14 is claims, appropriations, and contract payments. 14A is review and possible action relating to the verified claims presented by the Director of Finance and authorized payment.
I move to approve the verified claims presented by the Director of Finance and authorization of payment.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. This is a roll call vote.
Councilmember Huckabee,
Aye.
Councilmember Johnson,
Aye.
Councilmember Lesko Hair,
Aye.
Councilmember Price,
Aye.
President Jacob.
Aye. Motion carries. Item 15, adjournment.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.